of the grave, I'm an underground king. It's Ebony JB and I'm back with another video, and today I'm doing a video which I've been wanting to do for a long time. When I first started my channel just over a year ago, 3 months into it, I had filmed the Drake's Perfect album video in which I collated a bunch of songs that I believed if they were all together would be like the perfect Drake album. And I just did this based on like many different factors like went into me making this playlist, this best album, and into me choosing these songs. Like for example, which songs show him best as an all-round artist, which songs show him best as a rapper, which songs show him best as a vocalist, which songs show him best as creative, show him best as a savage, and show him best as emotional, show him best in all the different limelights that he brings. And I kind of collated it into the best album kind of thing, and then I filmed it and everything, and of course it just got slammed with a bunch of copyright claims, and I was just like, I cannot be bothered to refilm this and redo it in a way that will get through, you know, past YouTube's copyright claiming system thing. I said I'll do it another time when I can be bothered. And now, like almost over a year later, I am bothered for it now to show you guys what I came up with. Another really great YouTuber has done a concept like this called Sean C, and it's kind of funny because when he released it, is around the same time I was thinking of releasing the same kind of concept, the same kind of idea, just because I am a really big Drake fan. I'm just gonna get into it now. You guys are gonna see what I've made, and there'll be a link to the playlist down below in the description. Now, I'm starting off this album with one of my favorite songs from Drake that I feel like is really underrated. I like it mainly because of its production, to be fair. Sonically, it sounds really powerful, it's really embracing, it's really engulfing. I like the little bit of synths that are in there. I love the variety of sound effects that creates this really like atmospheric track, and then I just like the somberness and the simplicity of the bars that Drake brings to it. He doesn't overload the track with being so lyrical. He applies just the right amount of pressure to this track and really lets the track shine, whilst dedicating, of course, the love that he always dedicates to his city. And so I feel like I'm starting off this album, this Perfect Drake album, with the song 9. Mama hit my phone and said rap's no good, and I turn a 6 upside down. It's a 9 now. Turn the 6 upside. It's really powerful, just a really atmospheric, spacey track. It's just great stuff. That's how I'm starting off this album, with something a little bit light, something displaying Drake showing love to his city, and something showing that Drake can just be slick, and it's not always about being wordy and witty and having smart bars or being aggressive and dominant in a track. Sometimes it's just about being slick and showing love to a place that you've come from. The next track in my Perfect album is 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is an amazing track. It's one of the best tracks on Scorpion, simply because, again, of the slick bars, a little bit of wittiness there, a little bit of subliminals. It's got all that perfect rap toxicity that you experience when you're listening to, you know, just hip hop sometimes, you know, when you're listening to that artist that has a bit of beef, has a little bit of things to say, a little bit of anger to direct. That track has got this with a little bit of slickness as well. It's not just completely just like outlandish and like doing really evident subliminals. It's smart subliminals, it's slick subliminals, and it works over such a lovely, beautiful track with great samples in there. Brilliant track. I feel like this track really displays Drake's slickness, which is why I'm putting it in the album, following on from 9. Commands, if shit was out of 8, we like. If shit was out of 8, we like to make it 10. Cause he about to drop, the game is in disarray. It's press and play. Your wife. We love it. It has such powerful, regal energy. Meanwhile, he's being slick and sly on it. But it's just the perfect right amount of slickness and subliminals. It's just great. It's just great. Next in my Perfect album is Underground Kings. Now, this is from the Take Care album. I believe this is one of the top songs of the Take Care album. Underground Kings has such a momentous, like, energy to it. It's like, it really does feel like king energy. but like young King energy, and it is great because this is young Drake. This is Drake just coming into the game with something solid, the Take Care album, which really put him on the map for sight. He's still in the game, arguably because of just how successful this Take Care record was in its time. So it's just like Underground Kings, I thought, is really representative of Drake's birth as a really solid artist, not just a rapper but artist in the game, with that really successful production by his side, propping him up, making him sound regal, and giving us, foreshadowing that dominance and that kind of king GOAT status that he has now debatably claimed.
Rich off a mixtape, got rich off a mixtape. Do not get back to my ways. People always say my crown to the grave. I'm an underground king. I do it for the city, cause you know the city.
Yeah, so we've got 9 out of 10 Underground Kings. These 3 tracks, we started off with the slickness and the smoothness of Drake's bars over really, really powerful beats. We're on to a powerful beat matched with some really good energy, some really good charged debonair and swagger from Drake, and also it's just picking up a bit more. It's picking up a bit more intensity now lyrically in the album. Legendary production.
Charted accounts or work with their parents. Make everybody have to go through security clearance.
That track is so timeless, it will never grow old. And on top of that legendary production, we have really, really good lyrical prowess from Drake, and coupled with Jay-Z coming with a really catchy, slick hook and some really quick bars. Here we're seeing Drake not only holding his own next to a rapper that is a legend in his own right, but also just picking a really, or having a very complimentary feature to a track. Drake's tracks often have really complimentary features, and that's a really good skill to have, to garner, knowing who fits your track, knowing who will bring the best to your track. Really good track, has to be on there. One of the top tracks from Nothing Was the Same. Shout out to Ellie Goulding for that amazing sample there. A lot of people didn't know that, and then it went viral one time that it's Ellie Goulding, and then I don't know, people still might not know that is Ellie Goulding doing that. I can do an Ellie Goulding impression though. Tell me that you like me, hate me, fight me, tell me wanna, tell me lies, tell me that you miss me or love me or hate me or something like that. Next on it is Headlines. Headlines is like the track that kind of birthed my love for Drake, just because I was young when it came out, and it fueled my teenage, not angst, but it filled my teenage kind of like rebellious side, because it was just like, they know. I just thought I was so cold and hard and so untouchable listening to this track when I was with my friends. I was just like, yeah, they know what's up, yeah, get squad. Because I feel like it's a very solid track that shows his growth very well, shows how he, at that point in time, had so much potential. This Headlines track, shows me is like Drake with so much potential, like the maximum amount of potential you could ever have.
Focus, stop fearing the consequence. I agree with that. I just take my time with all this shit like that. You gon' make some run around me, catch your body inside. That's something they know. They know.
It feels like you're on the rise, and it's matched with Drake's charisma, his youthful charisma, and his youthful determination to be at the top. That's why that track has to be in my perfect album. So moving on to like the summary part of this album, the part where it's Drake playing with a little bit of the Afro sound, a little bit of the Caribbean sound, the Drake that's evolving and learning to try out new things and not just sticking to that nocturnal nature of his music. And that Drake should be appreciated because it shows his capabilities to be an artist. The next track is In My Feelings, and I remember when the day Scorpion came out, and I was playing Scorpion, and my mom was like in the sitting room with me listening to it. She was in the living room with me listening to Scorpion, and I played In My Feelings, and she was starting to fall asleep. She was starting to doze off. And when I played In My Feelings, she woke up from her sleep and said, "This is a hit." And not 2-3 days later, the challenge went round viral. Dealer, oh, I'm doing some next TikTok dance. Love me, are you riding? I kid you not, 2-3 days later, it went viral. And my mum heard that. It woke her up from her nap, took her out of her deep slumber. And she had to let me know in that moment that In My Feelings was a hit. And it was a hit. Did very well, became #1, very catchy, very infectious. Was everybody's summer tune. has to be on there because of how successful it was, how it displays Drake's hit-making qualities. It has to be in this album for me. I know it's getting tired. It's getting tired now. People have heard it way too much, but that doesn't mean to me that it loses its quality and loses its success value. The fact that my mom from a different generation instantly felt this with this track, it also displays the fact that Drake is able to appeal to different generations. He's able to be that music in a party that everyone, from the little kids to the parents, can enjoy.
Cause I want you, so you never ever leave from beside me. These babies for the real me, that's sweet. Gotta feel when it's stopping and we get the time.
Next, we're going on to the classic from Drake, which really was heavily influenced by Kanye, and I feel like this is a track that has to be on there because it shows how Drake was an artist that was able to really benefit and grow from support from a few greats, people like Jay-Z, Kanye, people like Weezy. I really do feel like a successful artist will have influence or have a strong amount of influence from other successful artists that are maybe a bit more mature in the industry. And I feel like that's a good artist will take heed to that, and a good artist will make sure that they keep that kind of support or take that advice from those kind of individuals. If you get too cocky and overzealous with your confidence and start thinking like you don't have to listen to nobody when you get that ounce of success, that's when that longevity of your career doesn't really. You've got to really make sure that as much as you are celebrating in that success and you know, forming new relationships and new ties and whatever, that you also have the right kind of good influences around you, and Kanye was that for Drake in the early days, helping him with this really great track here, Find Your Love. And music is a collaborative process, so this track here is not only just talking about Drake's capability to be diverse and touch different vibes, also though to just highlight that Drake didn't do it alone. Like, he was willing and able to accept help from others, and that is okay, and a successful artist would do that.
I better find your love.
After Find Your Love is Nice for What, another Scorpion track, and I feel like the reason why I really like this track and why I feel like it would be in Drake's perfect album for me, simply because it's just the empowerment of the song. You know, it's got a nice message in there. Nice for what to these. It was like female empowerment. The video matched really well. Then we got once Lauryn Hill doing the care for me, you said you cry for me, into me. It's like he made an empowerment song and added that boss lady that has been a role model for many females across the world, and made a really sweet summer track that has not only just a sweetness to it but a message. So I like Nice for What, and I feel like because of the fact that it shows that he can incorporate some kind of empowering for ladies that, you know, I mean, he's not a lady himself, and look at him here trying to make ladies feel good about themselves and empowering themselves and all that stuff. It's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah. So had a man life goes on. Working hard, girl, everything paid for. Feel like you're frame on and you're showing off, but it's alright.
Life, yeah. And we've got to give credit where credit is due. Drake always gets good quality production. That track is production. Matches what he was going for in terms of message wise. It feels just as empowering as the lyrics are for the lady audience. We're moving off the summery vibes from Drake now. We're going to, you know, other tracks. Now, of course, the summery vibes, I could have included Hotline Bling, I could have included One Dance, I could have included Feel No Ways, because that does have a summery feel to it, but I didn't. Those tracks for me didn't. They're really strong tracks, really do love them, but they just weren't the ones I felt like I wanted to incorporate based on just a collection of factors. So then if there was like a bonus, if there was like a deluxe of a perfect album for me, I'll probably include Feel No Ways. We're into now the darker part of the album, the part of the album which shows nocturnal Drake, you know, which shows dark nighttime Drake, dark mode Drake, I'm gonna call it. This is now, we're in the part of the album that is dark mode Drake, and dark mode Drake is nonchalant, doesn't care, has no respect. He's he's just the boy. He is just the top. I don't need no fucking body. I run my own shit. I told ya. Young, but I'm making millions to work the night shift. I mean, I'm back on this again. I'm here again. You know the trust is out in public, man. I'm back on this again. Those bars are aggressive, really encapsulating the dark mode vibes. This really shows to me Drake as a rapper, not in terms of lyrics, but more so in terms of energy, charisma, and that cockiness, that bravado. So it's just like, I feel like that successfully shows that rapping side of Drake there. Moving on to 0 to 100 again, which for me extends that, and I feel like it's one of those tracks that's very, very successful in showing that. But then the beat switch also shows a tamer side of Drake, a more reflective side of Drake, which is why I really love the track. It's just like we get the aggression and the non-caring Drake at the start, and then it switches where he's becoming really reflective and showing a more observant side, a more strategic, critical side of Drake. And I like that. This track really embodies Drake's personality, I feel. 0 to 100 is a very smooth, well put together track.
Lord, know yourself, know your worth, nigga. Real quick. Real quick. Whole squad on that real shit. On that real shit. 0 to 100, nigga, real quick. She said they love me unconditional.
Moving on, we're going to an interlude which is going to ease us into another part of this perfect album. We're going to the Camera's Good Ones Go interlude, which is a very reflective, somber track. I feel like it really shows somber Drake in his feels Drake. And we're moving into that part of the album now, the part of the album where Drake is a bit more emotional. Just a few tracks are going to display that. But first, Camera's Good Ones Go, because I believe it's one of the strongest interludes that Drake has ever released. And it really shows him his emotional side.
Baby, she looked like a star, but only on camera. I swear I said about 100 times I needed man.
We're going to Marvin's Room. That sad nigga tune. I'm so sorry. This is that tune. The tune that brings tears to a strong man's eyes. It's literally the tune that you're gonna sit in darkness with a glass of Henny and you're just gonna play it on loop and think about things. This is that track that really established Drake as, you know, the crier, Drake as the emotional rapper, Drake as the guy in his feelings, and he owned that image and he continued to own that image for the rest of his career. But this track really started it off, and I feel like it's a very successful track for showing how Drake was a rapper not scared to show his emotional side.
I know you still think about.
Marvin's Room is just that track. You can't not love it. It's Drake also touching into his R&B side a little bit, and we got to see some R&B from Drake, you know, because that's part of what makes him an artist. If you haven't noticed, we're still in the dark mode side of Drake. We got the first bit of dark mode, which is the aggressive. We moved on to the emotional dark mode. Now we're going on to like the kind of edgy dark mode. It's like that part of Drake that is edgy, is emotional and nonchalant at the same time. Wu-Tang Forever from Nothing Was the Same, an excellent track that shows this and also shows his lyrical skill as well. That's why I love it.
Baby, it's yours. Nobody else's. Get the shit. I high switch it up with a new thing. I find peace knowing that it's harder in the streets. I know. Luckily, I don't know what's getting into me.
Brilliant stuff. The lyrical prowess there, mwah, love it. Great stuff over a really nocturnal, edgy beat, but also showing emotional Drake as well, a little bit in the hook. Know Yourself. Again, we're still in this edginess of Drake. This kind of scary, almost a bit uncomfortable edginess of Drake, where he could be over a really dark beat and make you feel really like you're in the nighttime, and take you through his mind in the nighttime that is filled with all sorts of stuff. Know Yourself, a hit track from the mixtape You're Reading This Is Too Late, has to be in my perfect album.
It's Big Warrior.
Oh, this track is just...
Yeah. Running through the 6 with my walls. Live forever, man.
Oh, shit.
Reading, I stop. With my wolves. You know how that shit go. Running through the 6.
Standard dark mode Drake. It's just like, if you want to know what dark mode Drake is, just listen to Know Yourself. But also, if you want to hear that edgy Drake, that edgy dark Drake, listen to Know Yourself. The production, so unearthly, so different. It's something I'd never heard before. Again, still in that emotional, edgy Drake, we're moving on to an old track from Drake. To me, an old hit from Drake. Days in the East. It has to be on here because, again, this is young Drake, but young Drake showing the potentiality to grow into this character of being dark mode, being edgy, being a bit like raw, but raw in the nighttime, if that makes sense. I feel like he's been displaying those tendencies from early, and Days in the East is one of those tracks that really show how he's always been capable of doing that. It's a solid track from the past time, which shows that quality of his.
She's not here right now, she's not.
Wait,
I got a lot to say, and that's the last thing a nigga wanna hear. Forgetting who I was on the other side. Oh.
I feel like this is a very successful bag that Drake has tapped into, that dark mode edginess. Definitely a vibe that I've got quite a lot of tracks for in this perfect album, because it's really successful, shows his capabilities as an artist as well. Star 67 is the next track, another track from which you're reading This Is Too Late, and it's a really powerful track. I love the beat switch, the production here effortless, and Drake here really shows his artistry, shows how as the production switches he can bring a completely different vibe. I know that he did get help and support in this mixtape, but again, music is a collaborative process, and I've said that any artist willing to accept that and work on music with other people is an artist that is one to be praised as well. Like it's just they're just as, or can be just as successful and just as great as an artist that does everything by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's this track really shows how a collaborative process can make such a great creative track, and Drake's performance on this track is exemplar. I feel like Star 67 is just great. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just good.
I ain't reply, let him know I read it though. Ain't no pussy on the pedestal. Getting tamed, my nigga being sent up. That's my vendetta. Keep the shit together, you can still get the work.
It just sounds so atmospheric.
Now I'm in the East, cause I'm poised to get it right, man. I was interviewed, I am not a man, I can do this on my own. They did put me on, now we in the basement, now we working on the phone. Love going up.
Next is a track that I really feel like shows Drake's lyrical prowess. It's one of those top tracks up there that when I'm talking about Drake and lyrics, I got to mention. 5 a.m. in Toronto has to be on the perfect album. The beat just has some monstrous energy to it. Like,
how long did it really take me? The part I love most is they need me more than after. That's cause I'm heading to the bank, nigga. When she ain't with ya, wildin', doing shit that's way out of your budget. Bitches up in my drive, I never give them a break. Why is it always me?
Next track is a track that I feel like, again, Drake picking a really good feature. Janae Aiko was just rising and really showing how she can be a solid R&B artist in the industry, and I feel like he just perfectly chose her to contribute to this really scenic track, whilst reflecting on female relationships. I feel like it's a really beautifully composed track. We have a beautiful R&B female vocalist, whilst Drake is just rapping about, you know, past experiences and, you know, missed opportunities that he's had with some woman in his life. Drake rapping about his female relationship so easily on this track is a thing to praise, because again, it's not something that was typically done. And yes, there were people that had done it before him, but he really put it into the limelight.
It takes you being caught up. You shouldn't have to deal with that. Not for the both of us. Just me and my old man getting back to basics. We was talking about the feet, now girl, that nigga's amazing. Well, fuck it, we had a couple Coronas. He said we should hash it out like a couple of grown-ups.
Sometimes it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. The flow is so seamless as well. The delivery of his bars, so seamless. Really great track. Shows again that Drake can rap about anything, really. He can rap about anything. And closing off my album is 4 p.m. in Calabasas. This is, to me, the top track in terms of Drake and lyrics. Over such a dark, funky, bumpy beat. Like it's the beat is so groovy, but he's just rapping so dark over it, and it's just great stuff. You would never imagine like a grooviness and a funkiness and to be merged with like a harsh kind of flow. Here Drake just displays his lyrics. and why he can be considered a rapper.
The Yankees, we established like the Yankees. We moving militant, but somehow you the one tanking. No, and you know me as the Chris bottle sender. Check pick up, no way out, cause I'm already in it. Trying to rap like Pac, never tried to sing like Mike. Those my dad's work. And I always tell my mother gave the greatest advice. Yeah. Oh, me down. Oh, it's just too wild to reconcile to that DiCaprio level. The way they play that damn nigga. What is
4 p.m. in Calabasas is the ish. It's the ish. Wait, this my favorite part's coming up.
Drake, will you please stop smoking la la? Chose why I try. I'm a thug. I'm a die hard. Oh.
4 p.m. in Calabasas is the ish. I don't care what anybody says. It's amazing stuff. The lyrics, the flow, the delivery, the integrity, the rawness, the gutterishness of it. It was lovely. It was a brilliant track, and it's closing off my album, my perfect Drake album. Guys, that is the tracks that I would consider, you know, being in my perfect Drake album. I could listen to this playlist of songs I've collated, like from the start to finish, and not feel like anything is amiss, anything is subpar, anything is lacking. To me, every track is solid in its own way. So yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button down below and leave a comment down below of your thoughts. I'll see you guys all next time.
She moved out of state and shit that went left. She seeking forgiveness.